All right, everyone. Good morning. Welcome back to the Lookout. Today's the 17th of August, and we're covering Six Rivers Lightning Complex over by Willow Creek. This is unofficial fire information. I'm not assigned to this incident. We're just interpreting publicly available intelligence from last night, and I'm going to show you. Today we're going to look at mapping from the last about 10 days altogether, just to kind of look at how the fire spread. There's not a ton to report on the fires as far as new movement. A little bit, generally in areas we've been covering the past few days. We've been waiting for the last week for the weather to change. We've been talking every day about how a low pressure system moving through will be what could cause major changes in this fire. So today, low pressure is forecast to move south of the fire area. There's supposed to be lightning potentially coming for the western Trinity County. And then also potentially that lightning will continue into the night. So the potential effect on these fires is that we could have strong outflow winds if we build up big thunderheads in the vicinity. And also concern is that because the smoke is not necessarily going to lift, that firefighters wouldn't know that there's a big thunderhead, just over on the horizon. So not a lot's going to change early in the day today. Like inversion's still going to be there, smoke's still going to be heavy. You can see that I've got a satellite image here I can jump to. Kind of early this morning, you can see that there's a ton of smoke packed in like there has been every day in this area, even more than usual maybe, and it is spilling over into the valley. So fire's up in here, kind of spilling down into the valley. And you can see kind of this morning the buildup of the thunderheads. So that's one of the interesting things is just that we've got kind of extreme heat, and one thing kind of extraordinary about this thunderstorm event is just that there's a lot of heat and potential for the storms to continue into the night. Sorry about the flicker on that imagery. So let's just jump right into our Google Earth here. So one thing we're doing differently today in the Google Earth is just we're showing the progression over the last about 10 days. And I think it's pretty interesting. I know it makes for a little bit of like if you're not used to reading contours, it's a little bit busy in here. But basically, every one of these white lines is 24 hours of fire spread. So this white line here is where the fire is right now, where it hasn't spread. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. So 6 days ago, we can see that the fire, had spread. It started on top of the hill and spread down. And then it spread down and it only spread down this way a couple of days before it was contained. Over here on what was the Cedar Fire and then the Waterman Fire and now just part of the Campbell Fire. Fire started on top. And it's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days of spread here. And you can see kind of how they have been firing to keep ahead of it as it's flanked down. Same thing here, spreading out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. So just a lot of people scurrying around with drip torches and drones flying to kind of keep pace with the natural backing and flanking of these fires. On this fire here in Coon Creek, not a lot going on there yesterday. We were curious what would happen here with the fire spreading uphill. And I think one thing that's interesting about the conditions we've had is just that the humidities are high enough under the smoke and the temperatures are lower, and being a north slope, it's kind of a cooler, shadier area anyway. But that the fires only spread this far in 24 hours is kind of remarkable, considering that there's not really any suppression going on this. So even the head fires here are kind of really moderate. There's someone's little grow scene hacked into the woods. That weed might get smoked. This is an older image, actually, so who knows what's there now. It's 3-year-old imagery. Okay, over here on this north slope, I don't have new hand line for today. They didn't update that on the public site, but you can see the fire is still spread a little bit more down. It hasn't crossed Cedar Creek. Has some sort of, roll out, burn back up here. You can see not a lot of spread, but it's pretty much down into the riparian at this far end. The ops map today is still showing this line as a planned mixed line. And then it's also showing maybe a little bit of progress on the dozer line here. Okay, so we're looking kind of south. Coming around the top of the fire here, no new spread over the lines. Continued filling in here. It's been kind of slow to fill in here below the main drag along the ridge, but it is kind of closing up here. So that's the Campbell fire. Not a lot new going on. Okay, we're gonna kind of come around and look up the South Fork Trinity and check out what's happening here on Ammon fire. Main thing you can see this morning on Ammon is just that this firing yesterday was up here where the white line is, and so they've made quite some distance here. I don't have my little measuring stick right handy, but they're steadily filling in the firing here that's going to contain this whole edge. Got hand line along the bottom here and some dozer line, and no real spread here down in the riparian. It's interesting on the same kind of image here. This is just cut off because the first day they flew it, I think that was either the boundary of what they were supposed to fly or they hit clouds. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8 or 9 days of spread here, and just that really steady, kind of predictable backing fire. The other kind of major development on Ammon is just that they've tied in this firing on Friday Ridge down the dozer line all the way back to the old Oak fire. So also they thought that today, if they have continued northwest flow, that it's still favorable for this firing to behave itself. Now, just one thing with, if we do have this big thunderstorms to the south and strong outflow winds, all these areas that are orange in here that are active fire do have potential to get kind of amped up with all that wind. So I think they'll be happy when they get a little more depth on that Friday Ridge firing. Things seem like they're going pretty well over here on southwest corner where they fired off this road system. They finished firing that, and now we talked about how it's just it's tough to hold as you put heat in these corners, and the convective kind of lift there can it's tricky to turn a corner in a gully like that. So if they get through the next 24 hours or this storm front passage and get this all tied in, that'd be great. They've continued to kind of just be getting pushed a little on this flank, it says in their intel report, by that northwest kind of push. All right, so that's the news on the fire spread. We'll be watching the radar today and just see what happens with this convection lightning moving through. Not much else to report anywhere in kind of Northern California right now. There's a fire being managed for resource benefit in Yosemite that's kind of surrounded by granite, and kind of just keeping one eye on that. Seeing some commentary online definitely about why are they managing fires in the summer? It's Yosemite. They've managed a lot of fire there, and you zoom out on those fires and you see that they're surrounded by craggy granite peaks everywhere. Not a lot of places for them to go. So could definitely do a whole episode just on what the Park Service has been up to the last 30 or 40 years in Yosemite, but they're definitely leaders in using fire for resource benefit. And you go for a hike in the backcountry there and you'll see forest conditions you won't see anywhere else because of that big old growth, and kind of gives you a snapshot of what things could look like if we had used fire as much elsewhere. I think that's it. Oh, got a plug. We got a new logo, and my wife Erica has been working on our website, and so here's the t-shirt. Got a bunch of different colors, got long sleeves, short sleeves. You can buy them here on YouTube. There's a little shop tab on our profile, and also on shop.the-lookout.org. When you buy merch from us, we make a little money, helps us pay the internet bill, stuff like that. So thanks, Erica. I like the shirts, and we got some stickers on there too. Working on hats, but we want to do hats locally just for quality control, so it's taking a little longer.